Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 53 of our Booking AEW series, and hot off the heels of last week with the announcement that the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament, I'm not too sure what it's called, it's Owen Hart something tournament, we're just going to call it the Owen Hart Tournament, was announced. We have got the brackets for both the men's and the women's tournament. Nigel McGuinness is here. He's hyping up. He's talking about the importance of the Owen Hart Foundation, not just remembering Owen Hart, but also, doing everything that they do to support everyone that they support. Probably should have done a bit of research because I don't really know what they did. But anyways, we're here and we are about to announce the brackets, starting with the men's brackets. Let me just bring it up. Okay, and here we are with the men's bracket. I had to do a little bit of cutting because I didn't have it ready for me to read out. On the left hand side we have the Dynamite side, and on the right hand side is the Collision, and they will both meet at our next pay-per-view, or the winners of each bracket will meet at our pay-per-view, which I believe is Revolution, and I think that's just over a month and a bit away. So on the Dynamite side, we have got Prince Devitt straight in to the Owen Hart Foundation Cup, facing off against Orange Cassidy. We've also got two, I would say, a returning signing and a new signing. We've got Rocky Romero returning to AEW, taking on a new signing in Titon, who is huge in Mexico and also very, very popular over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. An excellent high flyer, crazy strong, he's great. We've then got Ricky Starks taking on Will Ospreay, who has recently committed himself to AEW in terms of priority, so we don't have to worry about his matches being missed. And then finally on the Dynamite side, we've got Roderick Strong taking on, again, the returning MJF. So that's a very exciting left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have got Pac. He's here to claim a victory in the Owen Hart Foundation Cup, because remember, the winner gets a world title opportunity as well. So yeah, Pac definitely wants that. And he'll be taking on Jack Perry. No longer Jungle Boy Jack Perry, just Jack Perry now, because the Jungle Boy shtick is just a bit old. He's just going to be Jack Perry for a while until we can figure out a gimmick or something for him. Following that, we have Ilya Dragunov. I believe I've typed that incorrectly. Now I'm reading out loud. I feel like it's not Dragunov. So I'm very sorry if that's wrong. But he is here in AEW. He signed with us a couple of weeks ago, actually. Joined Ring of Honor. But I've been looking at how well he's been doing in Ring of Honor. He's getting like 70 plus every match. So I figured, you know what, let's bring him up. And he is now part of Collision. And he'll be taking on Malachi Black in his debut match in the Owen Hart Foundation Cup. After this, we've got Mr. Inform, Jeff Cobb, taking on the Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli, and we could get a All Combat Club quarterfinal, just had to work it out there, if Zack Sabre Jr. can overcome La Faccion's Rouge. So that is our Owen Hart Foundation tournament bracket for the men's. Let's now jump over to the women's. And here we are for the women's, and this is an exciting tournament bracket. Got some big names, some really good talent across here. With the first match being, again, the returning Mercedes Monet against Billy Starks, a match that we will see on today's episode. Following that, we've got Shayna Baszler taking on Hikaru Shida, who is very seasoned in tournaments and also in championships, so she'll definitely be one to watch. Following that, we have our former AEW Women's World Champion AJ Mendes taking on the massively underrated Trish Adora. And then finally on the Dynamite side, we've got Jade Cargill, who hasn't really done a great deal since she lost her TBS title all that while ago, taking on Kairi, someone who is so good yet hasn't really, gone there yet. And then on our Collision side, we've got our current TBS champion Maki Itoh taking on Toni Storm, the woman that she defeated to win the TBS title. So that should be a very interesting rematch. Then we've got Rebecca Knox. After a huge debut in the last episode, she has slotted straight in to the Owen Hart Foundation Cup and will be looking to make her presence known. And she'll be taking on AEW veteran Willow Nightingale, someone who's been here since day one. Following that, in the other half of the Collision bracket, we've got Britt Baker, a former Owen Hart Foundation Cup winner, so she'll be looking to make it another win for her in this tournament, and she'll be taking on Athena, who recently won back her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, so she knows all about winning, so that will be a great match. And then finally, last but definitely not least, we have got Miyu Yamashita, one of the best in-ring performers in AEW right now, taking on Yuka Sakazaki, someone who I believe is a little bit slept on, and this could be her chance to prove some doubters wrong. But that is both of our Owen Hart Foundation tournament brackets. We'll get around, I'd say, 3 matches a week for both the women's and the men's. That's not 6 in total, that's just 3 in total, so maybe 2 women's, 1 men's, 2 men's, 1 women's, vice versa, every episode now in each show until we get to the final. So haven't really mapped it out fully, but we'll get there at some point. But let's just return to the pre-show, where we have got Miro taking on Cash Wheeler. I really wanted to give Cash Wheeler a go in a singles match, and it looks like he did alright. Good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Miro defeats Cash Wheeler in 13 minutes with a game over. 74 rated match, which is pretty good. Miro with an 83, Cash with a 68, which is fine. It's getting there, but yeah, I'm really interested to see how Dax and Cash do as singles guys, not breaking up FTR. It just allows a layer of flexibility. And then I believe this is our final pre-show match. We've got the Hate Crew, Lina and Jade Cargill taking on Mercedes Martinez and Sari. And in this match, the Hate Crew got the win. Jade Cargill winning with the Jaded, so a nice little win for her ahead of her Owen Hart Cup match, which will probably be next week or the week after. I'm going to try and get through these as quick as I might have to throw 1 or 2 in the pre-show just to, map out how long it takes us to get to the next pay-per-view event. But I believe that is the final pre-show match, and we're heading straight into Dynamite with our first Owen Hart Cup match, and that is Prince Devitt taking on Orange Cassidy. And in a decent match, Prince Devitt gets the win. He wins in 22 minutes with the Brain Buster, and that is a 72 rated match. Not the best performance from Devitt, but as we've known with tournaments, whoever advances, they tend to just get better and better with each round. So Prince Devitt is through. Poor, bad luck, I'd say, from Orange Cassidy, who is a great star and someone who I think I'm underutilizing. So it's getting harder to balance the talent in AEW. So there is a part of me that thinks, let's trim the roster, but also it's good to have them there as and when we need them. But Orange Cassidy is out in round 1. Prince Devitt makes it through. And post-match, MJF decides to come out and congratulate Devitt. And he cockily says, I'll see you in the semi-final, bud. Because the semi-final would be, the 2 finalists of Dynamite. So MJF already, convinced he's going to make it all the way through. And also reckons that Prince Devitt could as well. So that should be an exciting semi-final if it happens. But MJF, just teasing Prince Devitt again, as he did last week, winding him up a little bit, getting under his skin. And it's good to see MJF back. Kind of crazy that it says the performance was fantastic, got the crowd hotter, all these bonuses. It only got 79. Maybe we need to ease the MJF train back in. After this, though, we have our first Owen Hart Cup match for the women's side of the tournament, and it is AJ Mendes taking on Trish Adora in a 71 rated match. Wow, okay. In a decent match, AJ Mendes gets the win, hot off of losing her women's title. She definitely wants that back and is aiming to do so through the Owen Hart Cup tournament. AJ with a 69 performance and Trish with a 60, which is also very, very good. Great match. Trish Adora is an awesome talent. She's still quite young, so she's got plenty of time to blossom into a top women's star, and I've got every faith that she'll do that. But right now, it's AJ Mendes with the win in a 71 rated match. Love to see it. Following this, though, we got a little backstage segment. Nick Jackson is talking to Nigel and just wants to know why he isn't in the Owen Hart Cup. He says that he's proven himself as a singles wrestler. He decimated his brother Matt Jackson recently to the point where Matt's not even here anymore. Like, where is he? And the fact that the Owen Hart Cup winner gets a world title opportunity, Nick just says it's ridiculous that I'm not included in this. And Nigel's just like, really sorry, it's not my decision, it's the entire board make the decisions of these. A lot of them are handpicked, a lot of them are randomly selected, so really sorry. But if you want a world title shot or you want some kind of championship opportunity, Nick, just go out there and earn it, my boy. You have proven yourself in the ring, so prove yourself more. Do what we know that you can do. So that's my advice. And he kind of just gives Nick a little pat on the shoulder and walks off, and Nick not looking very happy about that. But we do head back to the ring now, where we've got another Owen Hart Cup match, and this is the women's tournament again, and it is Mercedes Monet facing Billie Starkz. But first, we get a little Monet promo, who is of course escorted by Daniel Garcia, our World Light Heavyweight Champion. So Monet cuts a promo, just says she's back. She apologizes for being gone. She can see that the new wave looks to have subsided for now, but her and Daniel are as strong as ever. They've been keeping in contact. They've been going on dates. You've probably seen it in the magazines and online. Me and him are as thick as, I don't know what's thick, my thighs. And he's escorting her down to the ring. He's going to be acting kind of like as her manager now. And she says, whatever Swerve's up to, whatever Ricky's up to, I don't really care anymore. It's me and Danny Garcia, and we're both going to rule the world. He's World Light Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to become the next Women's World Champion. So kind of very confident promo, but, why not? It's Mercedes Monet. And it seems like the new wave is maybe dead in the water. Like, get that? Wave water? Anyways, 87 promo, love that, and let's see how she does against Billie Starkz, who could cause an upset, good old Space Jesus. But of course she doesn't. In a decent match, Mercedes Monet defeats Billie Starkz in 14 minutes with the bank statement, and it looks like they don't seem to click at all. So I'm glad we got this over and done with in the first round. Mercedes Monet moves on to the next round of the tournament. Bad luck from Billie Starkz. Again, she's like, 19? She has a huge future ahead of her. So I'm not worried about Billie either. Her, Trish, we're building that foundation already within the company to rise up. But yeah, Daniel Garcia did some good work at ringside. That's what I wanted to see. I'm glad that he's doing good work as a manager. I really like the Monet and Garcia pairing, especially with Garcia's new picture looking like a bit of a playboy. But we're just heading backstage now, where we've got a little promo / interview. We're seething after match when Billie Starkz almost injured her. Oh, that's not good. But heading backstage now, Renee has got CM Punk, and she's just talking to him ahead of his main event tonight against Juice Robinson, who called him out last week and said some not very kind words. So Punk has just said, there's not much to say, Renee. Juice likes to run his mouth. He has a very big mouth, and I'm just going to silence it tonight. I'm going to put that boy to sleep, and we're not going to hear from Juice for a long time after tonight. And he just seems very quiet, very confident. I feel like when Punk's quietly confident, it's quite scary, because you know that he's very, very serious about what he's going to do. So Juice just, sticking up for his boy Jay White, and we'll have to see what happens in the main event. But first, we still have another match. It's not an Owen Hart Cup match. We're taking a breather from now. It is some tag team action, and with the return of Rocky Romero, we wanted to just celebrate the reunion of one of my favorite tag teams from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Roppongi Vice, as they take on the Guns. And in a bout that had decent wrestling but not great heat, Roppongi Vice get the win. Of course they do, and they defeat the Guns in 12 minutes when Rocky Romero pins Austin Gunn with a strong 0. Rocky Romero with a 65, that's not bad. Trent with a 66, decent. Austin and Colton around the 40s, 50s again, not great, but I think they're going to be a little pet project for me over on Rampage. Just give them some momentum, get them in as many matches as possible and just see what we can build with these two guys. 6.9 rating, it's okay, it's fine, just a simple tag team match. And again, similar to Jade Cargill in the pre-show, Rocky Romero gets a nice win under his belt just to kind of get that momentum flowing before his Owen Hart Cup match. After this, though, we do head backstage, and after the mention of Monet saying that the New Wave is dead in the water, Ricky Starks tracks down Swerve and just has a word with him and just says, "Hey man, I don't know whether the thing with MJF last week was a one-time thing or what, but like, what's going on?" And Swerve just says, "You heard Monet, the New Wave's dead. It's been dead for a long time, and also MJF pays a lot more than the New Wave ever did." And then just kind of gives a little shoulder fist bump thing to Ricky Starks, and he just says, "I'll see you around, Ricky. Good luck in the tournament," and just walks off. So Ricky's kind of just like, what? Another faction I'm in has just died. Like, so it seems like the New Wave is dead at the moment, or at least on hiatus for now. Monet's very focused on herself. Garcia's focused on himself and Monet. Swerve is being paid handsomely by MJF, so why wouldn't you? And Ricky Starks is it's just Ricky Starks. So nice 84 segment. Ricky's great on the mic, so we're gonna make sure we utilize that often. But now it is main event time. CM Punk, Juice Robinson. Juice asked for this, so let's see what Juice can do. Can he silence Punk, or is Punk going to do what he said earlier tonight and put Juice to sleep? Let's find out. 85, go on Juice. Well, mostly Punk, but go on Juice. So in a good match, CM Punk defeats Juice Robinson in 22 minutes with the Welcome to Chicago. So that means CM Punk does get the win. He doesn't necessarily put Juice to sleep, because I can't see a GTS in sight, but he definitely does get the win. And in what a great main event, an 85 involving Juice Robinson. Who'd have thought? I really like Juice. I really want him to get better. So a match like this can only help him, I guess. And post-match, Punk is celebrating in the ring on his own. There's no other Bullet Club Gold members around. And he kind of looks back at Juice and goes, I didn't put him to sleep, did I? So he does the go to sleep taunt. He goes to pick up Juice Robinson, puts him up on his shoulders, when from out of nowhere... Alright, Chavo, what are you going to say now? New power spot. Nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. That will make Punk's matches better. But anyways, out of nowhere, Jay White is back. He comes out of nowhere from under the ring or from the crowd or something, pulls Juice Robinson down off of Punk's shoulders and just starts attacking Punk over and over, pounding away at him, kicking his head in. Juice has kind of regained a bit more consciousness now, joins in on the attack, stomps him through. Jay White picks him up, puts the little gun symbol on Punk's head, because remember, even though Jay White's not part of the Bullet Club, him and Juice are the Bang Bang Gang, and he pulls the trigger and hits Punk with a switchblade. Jay and Juice stand tall. The rest of Bullet Club Gold eventually make their way down to the ring, where Jay and Juice make their escape, and that is how we end AEW Dynamite. So let's see how we did. An 82 rated show, not bad at all. I will take that. Jay White is back, awesome to see. Punk obviously is going to want revenge on that as soon as possible, as are the rest of Bullet Club Gold. We got some good first round matches. Devitt's through, Mendes is through, Monet's through, and when we head over to Collision, we're going to get even more Owen Hart Cup matches, along with some other really exciting affairs. So yeah, that is Dynamite done. I will see you guys over on Collision. Okay, and here we are for Collision, where we will continue the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament, whatever it's called, along with some other interesting matches tonight. But first, we are in the pre-show, and we've got Hook and Hobbs taking on the Dark Order. And in a pre-show match that had decent wrestling but not much heat, Hook and Hobbs, of course they do, it's Hook. They get the win in 11 minutes when Powerhouse Hobbs pins Stu Grayson with a frog splash. Go on, Hobbs. 71 rated match, nothing amazing. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno aren't the best. I did put this as a wild brawl, so Hook, it was around the same because Hook's great at everything. Powerhouse Hobbs got a little boost. Evil Uno got a little boost, but it looks like Stu Grayson's not much of a brawler because he lowered his usual in-ring performance score. Normally he's above Evil Uno, but we'll take it. It was a decent match, 71. It's in the pre-show, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. But this is our only pre-show match because our card is so stacked with great matches. We didn't need any pre-show filler. So let's head straight into the opening match, which is another Owen Hart Cup match, and it is Claudio Castagnoli of the Combat Club taking on Mr. Inform Jeff Cobb. Let's see how that goes. And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Jeff Cobb gets the win. He defeats Claudio Castagnoli in 25 minutes with a tour of the islands. That means Jeff Cobb advances and Claudio Castagnoli is out of the Owen Hart Cup tournament in the first round. Wow. Jeff Cobb with a 73, Claudio with a 78, and it got the show off to a strong start. You love to see it. Following this, though, we have an announcement. Pentagon will be heading to Dynamite next week to issue an International Championship Open Challenge. Anyone on the Dynamite roster can accept this challenge. So Pentagon will be there, and that is what will open the show next week on Dynamite. Pentagon not recently, I'd say a while back, he's won the title from Jay White, thanks to a little bit of Bullet Club Gold involvement. But yeah, great 85. As soon as I realised that Pentagon can speak fluent English, he's just promoing all the time now. But awesome segment here. We head back to the ring, but just before that, before the entrances, Tony Schiavone just has a quick word with our new signing, Rebecca Knox, and he just says, Rebecca, welcome to AEW, quite the debut last week, helping Jamie Hayter defeat Britt Baker, and just how are you feeling? And Rebecca just says, it's not really about Britt Baker. Nothing in AEW is about Britt Baker anymore. It seems like she's the it girl of the women's division, and I'm not a fan of that. If we're being honest, she hasn't held a title in however long. We've got two champions, Maki Itoh, one of the best Japanese women wrestlers of this generation. We've also got Demi Bennett, someone who I've fought in the past, and she's the current women's world champion. Why are people not talking about the two of them all the time? Why are people not talking about Jamie Hayter? Why are people not talking about me? Because, let's be honest, now that I'm in AEW, the women's division has just gone up a bunch of levels. So I'm happy to be here. I'm not here to talk about Britt Baker, but should she win her matches in the Owen Hart Cup, I would love to face her later on in the tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna head into the ring now, Tony. So that's Rebecca Knox for you guys. Very confident and a little bit sick of Britt Baker. It seems like a lot of people are. Maybe the storyline shouldn't be hater gonna hate. It should be hater gonna hate Britt Baker. So yeah, nice 83 segment, and we do head to the ring now to see the debut match of Rebecca Knox taking on Willow Nightingale. And in a decent match, Rebecca Knox gets the win. She defeats Willow Nightingale in 15 minutes with the Hard Knox. Not a move name that I chose, but I guess it goes with her Rebecca Knox character. 62 rated match, not the best, but as we've seen with most new talent, when they come in, the first couple of matches are always a bit, okay, and then they start to get better as the weeks go on. So I'm sure that Rebecca Knox, formerly known as Becky Lynch, is going to be one of those. 73 from her though, which is great. Willow the 50, so it could just be Willow dragging it down. Sorry, Willow. But she is through. Rebecca is through to the next round, which is very exciting. After this match though, we do head backstage where Renee is interviewing Hangman Page and Bandido yet again. And Hangman Page is just talking about life in AEW, all the general things. We're good. Me and Bandido are doing really well. Again, the Owen Hart Tournament, it's sad that neither of us are included in it, but we always look forward, we always do our best, and we just go out there and prove ourselves. The world title's probably out of reach now, so I guess I'm just going to have to bide my time and earn the opportunity as and when. And just while he's talking, Kenny and Kota just come by and just go, "Hey, Paige, what's up?" And Hangman's just like, okay, you guys all right? And Kenny just says, come on, man, where's the confidence? Where's the Hangman Page that I know? You wouldn't be giving up on the world title like this. Come on, what's that all about? You know, you need to set your sights high and go for it. Like, just look at me and Kota. I brought Kota in. We're now the world tag team. We're the best tag team in the world. And Hangman's like, oh, really? The best tag team in the world? He's like, maybe I should set my sights on the world tag team title then, Kenny. And Kenny's like, is that a challenge, Page? And then Hangman says, you know what? Yeah, it is a challenge. Me and my amigo, Bandido, will take on the two of you tonight in a non-title match. How does that sound? And Kenny kind of just like quietly, he's like conferring with Kota. Kota's like, okay. And Kota just leans forward and goes, deal. So our main event tonight is Hangman, Adam Page and Bandido facing off against the Golden Lovers in a non-title match. That should be one hell of a main event. But heading back to the ring now, we have got Maki Itoh taking on Toni Storm. But first, we have a special announcement from Nigel McGuinness. Nigel says that AEW as a company have been talking a lot about our title structure and how he feels that the TBS title is not fitting for the kind of champions that we have and want in AEW, which means from henceforth the AEW TBS Championship is no more. It is now the AEW Women's International Championship. And Nigel is here with Maki Itoh and the rest of the Itoh Respect Army and presents Maki with a brand new title. Something that I will show you guys in a pop-up now. There's a little screen cap. That's what the new title looks like. You love it. And then it can go. There we go. It's gone. So that is the new AEW Women's International title. And just like in my Global to Global series, any titles I make, I like to use a little bit of AI. It's super fun to just mess around with and build these titles. So at least I'm not like stealing them from anywhere. They're all bespoke. They're all, made by me. So yeah. So that is a new thing. TBS is no more. It's now the Women's International. And because it's the Women's International, that means that Maki is now brandless. So if she wants to appear on Dynamite, she can. So there's more opportunity for all women across AEW when it comes to titles. So yeah, but that's now done. Let's head straight into Maki Itoh's first match as AEW Women's International Champion, as she takes on former TBS champion Toni Storm in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup. And in a decent match, Maki Itoh gets the win. She defeats Toni Storm again in 14 minutes with a flying big head. But this match did have a lot of interference. As you saw, all of the Respect Army were there. They were out in force again. Emi, Riho, Miyu, they were all getting involved, distracting Toni, making it a very one-sided affair, and Maki takes advantage of that thanks to her Respect Army and gets the win in a 70 rated match, which is really good. So yeah, a great win for our new Women's International Champion, and Maki Itoh advances in the tournament. After this though, we have a simple but very effective promo from Pac. He says that the Owen Hart Cup is just a stepping stone. He will defeat anyone in his way, make it to the final, win, and then he is getting his hands on the AEW World Heavyweight Championship once and for all. He's had his chances, but this time is his time. And, Pac's not someone to argue with, so if he says it's his time, I'm guessing it's his time, but we will have to wait and see in his first match, which I believe will be next week on Collision. But this now takes us to our main event, Hangman Adam Page and Bandido setting a challenge for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Golden Lovers, in non-title action. Hopefully, this will be a very, very good match. Let's see how it goes. A 90. Oh, wait, that's not the match. A 90 rated segment because I forgot that I added this. The main event's coming up, don't worry guys, but we've got Jon Moxley, the World Heavyweight Champion, berating Claudio Castagnoli backstage for losing his first round match. I think Moxley wanted Claudio and Zach to make it all the way through to the final, or at least one of them, because they would face each other eventually, just to make the future challengers a little bit easier, I'd say, because I can't imagine any of these wanting to overthrow Moxley in the state that he's in. So yeah, he berates Claudio, says, "What was that? That was an embarrassment. You let Cobb beat you, of all people? Oh, ridiculous." And then he just points to Zach and just says, "Next week, Zach, you're doing better. You're winning. And then in the next round, you can take out Cobb," something that Claudio couldn't do. So yeah, Moxley definitely trying to psych up his Combat Club boys, and for good reason. You know, they are all great individual stars, so why not push them as far as they can? But now I believe it's the main event. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it's the main event now. Hangman Adam Page, Bandido. I got really excited because I thought they had a 9-8 match. So let's hope that they can do something. Let's just jump straight into it. At 89, hey, we'll take that. Okay. So in a bout that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Hangman, Adam Page, and Bandido defeat the Golden Lovers when Hangman Adam Page pins Kenny Omega, of all people, with a buckshot lariat. Now that, to me, is a statement. Pinning Kenny instead of Kota. I mean, Kota's great, let's be honest, but Kenny is the star of this duo. And wow, that is a big statement. Maybe Hangman should set his sights on the World Tag Team Championships. But just looking at the numbers here, Bandido put in one hell of a performance of an 84, Hangman with a 97, Kenny with a 92, and Kota with a 75, which is good for Kota because he's declining week by week. So Kenny's definitely carrying that team in that sense. But an 89, and that is how we end AEW Collision, with a huge tag team match and a huge win for Hangman Page and Bandido. And in a post-match reaction Twitter segment, Hangman jokingly says that the world title may not be in reach right now, but after tonight, the world tag team titles most definitely are. And him and Bandido kind of high five, secret handshake, whatever they do. And it looks like Hangman Adam Page and Bandido have got their eyes laser focused on Kenny Omega and Kota, because if you can beat them once, you can definitely beat them again. So let's see how we did with this episode. An 86, of course it would be. After a main event like that, it's going to bump any score up. But yeah, really great show. Great debut from Rebecca Knox. Maki Itoh with her new International Women's title, getting the win in a very good match. Cobb defying the odds and defeating Claudio in the opening segment, and he's kind of got a bit of a target on his back now with Moxley and the rest of the Combat Club. That is if Zack Sabre Jr. can make it to the next round. But that is how we end our episode, guys. Let me know your thoughts, reactions on the brackets, who you think is going to win, and also your feelings on Maki Itoh's new Women's International title. I really don't like the TBS or the TNT, so you can be sure that something's going to probably happen with the TNT title soon as well. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm just finding the right time to do it. But yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. Please, as I've said before, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.